Sega states that Persona 3 Reload's downloadable content sales were substantial. And we can even click through the article and read the full quote here. Our DLC sales plans for fiscal year 2026 quarter 3 conservative. DLC sales for Atlus' Persona 3 Reload were substantial in fiscal year 2025 quarter 3. We believe that our plan for fiscal year 2026 quarter 3 is based on the current situation. Basically saying fiscal year... It's saying that the sales are substantial. Yeah, what the headline said. I just wanted to read the quote, just so you know exactly what they said. But,
and
yeah.
They plan on selling more DLC later because of that, I think.
Oh, they also referenced strong DLC sales in their results presentation without singling out any one title. So as much as people complain, including myself just did, about Episode Igus, apparently it sold very well. And I'll admit, I did buy it as well, so you can blame me too. But, yeah, it seems like Episode Igus was successful. Sega has been wanting to do these expansion passes for their games for, you know, a while, and they're probably going to be doing it for the foreseeable future. You can bet your ass P4R will have one. I would be very shocked if it didn't. And especially with this selling very well, apparently, despite being probably the worst DLC Atlus has literally ever done. It is way overpriced. I think it's like...
Wait, the worst they've ever done?
I would say so. What's worse?
Stalkers 2.
Is Stalkers 2 DLC worse than this? How?
They add a quest, and it was a launch DLC.
I don't know if I can... I mean, so did Vengeance, to be fair. Vengeance has 2 DLC quests on launch. And I think Base SMT5 did too. Like, I don't know what this price is in USD. I can check. In Canadian, it's $47. In USD, it's $35.
It's like 35.
Yeah. $35 for this. 3 waves. The first 2 were absolutely fucking worthless. P4G BGM set and P5R BGM worth dog shit, right? And Velvet costume and BGM set, which is even more hilarious when you realize that they already had these Velvet assets from P5R anyways, because they have Velvet outfits in that game. So the only thing worth anything was Episode Igus, which I appreciate to an extent the extra budget that I may have been given for this. As I said, there are new areas and stuff, but one, I do not care that much about the answer. It should have just been with the base game. If it was a less substantial expansion, that's fine. I don't care. It's not worth it, I promise, especially knowing how this one turned out. And then...
I think it's probably for the best so that DLC does well, because it'll push Atlus to do more... Like, if they do more expensive DLC, I actually won't mind that, though, because, like, P6 gonna get expensive DLC, like, story content, it's actually, like, probably pretty good. Like, I mean, the quality...
I am fine with expansive DLC. I'm not against DLC, and I'm not even against DLC at this price necessarily, but this was not worth it at all. This was awful. And if this is going to push Atlus into thinking this is okay, and they're going to do more things like this, knowing it will sell just like this one did, that's not a good thing. Like, this was dog shit. This is, I think, the worst DLC Atlus has ever done. P3R in general was pretty embarrassing with DLC, considering they did a premium edition and then an expansion pass right after. Like, this shit was trash. And I'm not necessarily happy it sold very well, because it means that we might get more things like it. I'll keep a positive outlook for P4R. Maybe we'll get an expansion pass with really good shit, but... I'm
what
not...
What would your ideal expansion pass look like?
Super happy. I don't know, actually, because they'd want to do something substantial, like, obviously. This one barely had anything substantial, but at least it had Episode Igus. When it comes to P4R, there's nothing you can really resell there. I mean, if they want to be really funny, they could do the Marie arc, but there's, I don't think that's really possible the way it currently is. They'd have to rework the game pretty heavily, and how Marie is introduced. I mean, it would be pretty hilarious, admittedly, to keep all her story scenes and social link in the game, just for her dungeon to be locked in or something. But I don't know. That's barely even possible.
Episode Igus is done like that because it's not directly connected to the main game, and Marie is. There's just no reality.
I don't think they will. But that begs the question then what will they do? If they can't resell something, another guess would be something comparable to Episode Igus, but new and original. People were saying Episode Adachi, which would be admittedly pretty funny. An interesting concept, at least.
Yeah.
People were saying they could introduce the spin-off characters, whether Labris or that one girl from the anime. Or people are just saying they want her in the main story, but...
That's like episode or something, yeah.
There's, I don't know. I would be shocked if we get something like Episode Igus, like before P4. I don't think that's going to be the case. My guess, if I had to guess...
I'm thinking challenge battles.
That's it, though, for an expansion. Let's assume it's going to be $35 again. Really? $35 challenge. The P4i5R ones were like $7.
Challenge battles, maybe like in waves, they can add like more and more as with time, or maybe costumes. BGM is going to be given, I think.
Oh, no, we shouldn't do these as waves again. No, these shouldn't be. BGM should be like a $2 DLC at most. They should not be in an expansion pass.
I think the only reason why reloads are is because $35, all of that went to episode I guess. The other stuff is just them throwing it in to make it seem.
Yes, I agree. Obviously, yes.
Justify.
Obviously, what the expansion pass was we have episode I guess, we want to do a DLC, but Sega also really wants to do expansion passes. Here's our compromise. We'll do episode I guess in the expansion pass, and we'll fill the rest of the pass with dog shit nobody cares about, and that was what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I think something, so if I'm looking at the two fundamental issues of this expansion pass, it's one, that the answer isn't good, and then two, that the answer wasn't worth expanding upon in this, like, method. I think it should have been in the base game, even if it were less big than how it appears here, because it would have been a lower budget, because it would have been using the budget from the main game rather than a totally separate budget from based on what this DLC's profit was going to be, which is apparently very good. I would have been fine with that, because I don't think episode I guess needed that extra money or that extra care or that extra thing. We have this version of it, so I can tell you that I do not think it was worth it, for the reasons I explained earlier. So my two big issues would be that this wasn't something worth doing in an expansion pass, and then two, that Wave 1 and 2 are completely worthless. My best guess, like just off the top of my head on how to fix something like this, would be 3 smaller stories in different waves. Wave 1, and this would actually, by the way, because the point of this expansion pass, if you didn't know, is Sega wants to make their games kind of, live service games are very good. P5X and shit like that are very good because people are always coming back to your game, maybe every day. Single-player games are not like that. There are obvious drop-offs when the game releases, after people beat the game. They don't come back to it, most of them, right? Which makes sense. They want people to come back to them in forms of these DLCs. However, who the fuck was coming back to Persona 3 Reload to fuck with the Persona 5 Royal EXP BGM set? Zero human beings. Zero. Anyone who did was mentally ill, okay?
I actually think if they did, like, as a part of it, they did, like, a series of challenges, I honestly think that would have been much more justifiable. Like, as a part of everything.
Something.
I guess, and all the costumes.
Yeah, fine, just put, honestly, Joker being his own wave as a challenge would have been more fucking better than this. And then, Wave 2, Velvet Costume and BGM set. Again, if you came back for this, okay, there's something wrong with you, okay? You don't need Persona, you need therapy, okay? Then, this one made sense to come back to. My solution to this would be 3 smaller stories that you could release Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3, right? So, these don't have to be episode I guess here. They don't have to be that expensive, but they can be like smaller little things. Maybe they have... Think, fuck, nobody's gonna know this because not that many people played Eternal Punishment PSP. If you guys know what the Tatsuya scenario is, okay? There are literally 3 waves of this, okay? And they are a scenario that takes place during the main game. And it shows you what Tatsuya is doing during it. Tatsuya was the protagonist of Innocent Sin. He's kind of a party member in Eternal Punishment, but not really. For a majority of the game, he is not with the main party. He is off doing his own thing. This Tatsuya scenario shows you what he's doing. And I would argue it is just as good, if not better, than the main game. I love the Tatsuya scenario. It's really fucking good. Showing something... of what characters are doing during it, whether either centering around one character for all 3 waves or different characters, would be a good idea. Adachi's the easy one because we don't see what he's doing most of the game, obviously.
Yeah, that'd be a good
and
one.
then having it
like post like add shit to like what he's like I don't know, like just put him like some shit doing the TV or like setting up the murders or something.
And it's like a post-game content, like you unlock it after you beat the game, and then you can do it like afterward, and then
really good.
or like something like, or you could even do like other characters if you want going in for. You can think of some reason they might go into dungeons on their own or something. I'm thinking there might be reasons you might not as well. But my point is that, like, something like that, I would come back for each wave. I'd be like, oh shit, episode 1 is out. Let's go check that out. Oh, episode 2 is out. That fixes this expansion pass problem. And I'm so ready, by the way. I'm so ready, okay? All you motherfuckers, all right? I'm ready for everybody to steal this take, and now everyone's going to have this opinion on what they should do for the expansion pass. I thought of this. Don't forget this, okay?
Okay, String, we get it.
All right, fuck, everyone steals my takes because I'm just so based. Oh my god!
Calm the fuck down, Screamhead.
Okay, but this fixes the problem, and it's like actually like a cool thing. This is worth like money. Like this is actually worth something. So that's my idea. I'm ready for Atlus to steal it, or just do BGM sets again. One of the two. Yeah.
I think my ideal thing would be if they want to do what they've been doing more in line with what's expected, not like what you said. I think one big story thing, maybe, it doesn't have to be just one, could be more, but one big story thing at least. Not one costume, but maybe at least a fucking set or something, like a lot of costumes, like a lot of new ones. You can even do that to add soundtrack, and obviously soundtrack, and challenge battles. And I mean substantive challenge battles, like a lot, like Persona 5 Royal level of challenge battles, and probably more. I think that if you put that at the same price point as episode I, guess $35, and it had all that in it, I don't think people would complain.
So hold on. What's all the content in your version? Challenge battles, and then BGM sets, and then outfits?
Waves of challenge battles, and I mean like a shitload of challenge battles, like a lot.
I don't think only challenge battles being the most substantive thing there is worth $35.
Well, that's not the only thing. I think the main story would be the most substantive, like the extra story would be the most substantive thing.
Oh, so you're saying like something like an episode of Dachi, for example?
Yeah,
something...
like an episode of Dachi, whatever. Okay. Something analogous to episode I guess. Plus the challenge battles and a shitload of costumes.
Wait, hold on. So what's wave 1? You tell me.
Wave 1 would be challenge battles.
Okay. Not honestly something I think too many people would come back for is a problem. These are things probably better suited for a main game release, like a main game DLC, but I mean, I can't complain about challenge battles being one wave if the other waves are good. Challenge battles are alright.
You play Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Yep.
Fuck, wait, did you play Remind?
No, but I know what Remind is. But Remind is more expansive than just challenge battles.
No, it is, but it adds the data organization fights. Like they're like special like.
I'm aware. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, like I mean, like something like that is added like to post game content as DLC, like that.
Yeah, but like how many people are returning to the game just for that?
I think more than what episode I guess was, or sorry, the wave system for reload was.
I mean, obviously, yeah, more people are going to return to that than the BGM set for sure. But I think challenge battles are something that probably appeal to already like the biggest of fans. I don't know how many people are going to come back just for something like that in a wave.
Okay, what if it was like made like those challenge battles were part of a teaser for an actual story campaign that would come later down the road? What about that? Like it's like they're mainly gameplay, but they tease a story.
That would be like a little bit better, but I'm not necessarily opposed to challenge battles being like one wave, for example. If the other waves are substantive enough, like challenge battles are something I can't complain about. I just don't know if they work for something like an expansion pass is all. Like I think they work better as their own DLC, probably on game release. I mean, the hope would be that they would have to be DLC, but I guess we're past that. But yeah. But okay. What's wave 2 look like then?
Wave 2. Fuck. I guess it's you seeing 3 waves like episode like Reload's extension pass, yes?
Yeah, like 3 waves.
Even more challenge battles and a shitload of costumes and new soundtrack, I think.
New soundtrack? Wait, what's that entail?
Like, how do I put this? You know how like Vengeance like adds a shitload of battle themes?
Yep.
Like, what if the challenge battles like had like soundtracks like that were like, I don't know. Let's say like the new scenario, like whatever new DLC, this expansive story had it like original soundtrack for it. Like, what if like you had like some of that soundtrack put into challenge battles, right, or something like that, right? Like, what if they were like high production, like a series of high production challenge battles that tease the story further for an expansion pass that would come in the third wave?
I mean, I don't know how much of a selling point that is as a soundtrack then if they're teasers for like something else, but I mean.
Well, like, you'd be bringing back players because you know it's gonna like be like it's like directly continuing to something huge, right? Like the actual big final thing of the expansion.
Sure,
pass.
But again, if it's just teasers, my issue is especially in modern day where everyone's kind of online, people are probably just gonna be like, well, yeah, call me when the actual thing comes, you know? Like I can read a teaser on Twitter, you know, and it might be more effective there. So I just.
I mean, sure, you can always do that, but I feel like I think as as people who already bought the game and who are interested in DLC for the game.
Well, again, you have to sell them on the DLC too.
Sure, but I think that'd be a much easier buy than what Reload did.
Again, I don't dispute this is better than Reloads because Reloads is bottom of the barrel dog shit. I don't know how this got fucking okay. I mean, this was clearly done because Sega needed an expansion pass and they didn't know what the fuck to do. So they probably, I wouldn't even be surprised if actually, hold on, I know this is true. EX BGM set and P4G EX BGM set were in the game's files on release. Yeah, those weren't even like added with the expansion pass. Those are already in the game's file. I wouldn't be shocked if that and the Velvet costume and BGM set were things that were planned for the main game and then put off to an expansion pass because they needed 2 more waves. Like,
wasn't there even more like in the files? Like they had like an item set or something. That
they
ended up
did, and
not making
that just got
DLC?
scrapped entirely, which was probably for the better
is
because those
probably
DLCs are
good,
stupid.
yeah.
My guess would have been it would have been a pre-order bonus. Instead, the pre-order bonus was the P4 BGM set, which was stupid, but
I don't know, like the game soundtrack in there.
yeah, I mean, this is definitely better than Reloads, but I just like looking at it as an expansion pass with the goal of almost being like a live service game, and bringing people back all the time. I don't know how many people challenge battles are just gonna bring back. I feel they appeal to people like us for sure. Bring me back, bring you back, maybe bring the people watching this podcast back. But like the average player, I don't know.
Especially with Persona as a series that is primarily has a fan base that really prioritizes the narrative. I feel like, yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I don't know if it would do as well as like if they just did what you like you mentioned, like another scenario that is like direct delivered to you like through pieces, right?
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be expansive as episode. I guess just like 3 like solid things. Like do something like Tatsuya scenario, which you've already done for a re-release, and for I guess that game's technically a remake, and that was really well done. Just something like that is like really like I like Tatsuya scenario so much. I almost wish it wasn't like extra content. You had to access to the Velvet Room, and it was in the main game. Like it is like seeing that alternate perspective makes the story more interesting. You have the ability to do this again and make the story more interesting again by giving us an alternate perspective. This is like very much within the realm of possibility. Yeah, and I think it works with the expansion pass kind of format. Like people will be talking about this. People will be talking about the things that happen in each wave. People will be like, "Hey, did you see what Adachi fucked your mom in wave 1? Oh my god, that's crazy, right?"
Yeah.
Like this is shit that people will look forward to, maybe more than the main game, because the main game is full of a story they already know.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the benefits of a Persona 4 remake actually are a lot in the things that they can add, especially through DLC. I feel like that's a good way to bring back people who are on the fence about it's just I don't know, if it's justified or not. That would be a good way to bring them over, right? Of course, yeah, sure. It has benefits beyond just player retention, which shouldn't even really matter in a fucking single player game. But like companies look at these statistics, obviously.
But like again, when people start seeing people posting shit from a new Persona 4 story, okay? People will be like, I want to fucking play. I love Persona 4. I want to play. I want to see what the fuck's here. I'm going to buy that $35 fucking expansion pass, you know? God, fuck, I'm so angry. Atlus is going to steal this idea for like a different remake, and then they're not going to pay me for it. Just like how they stole Tartarus Conversations for me and everything else. They steal it all!
Well, we'll see soon enough. I mean, we're gonna see P4 make. What if the remake's a completely different screen and they don't even need to do a new story? Like, what if the entire game's a new story? They won't.
They won't do that.
What if
That
they
won't
did?
be. It's gonna
What
be
if
like
they
Reload.
did?
It's not gonna be like that. I honestly, the expansion pass for Persona 4 Reload. I'm gonna say all this Persona 4 remake, whatever. Like, I'm gonna say all this, and it's gonna be like, Isugami Gym BGM and Velvet outfit set. Like, you know, like we're fucked. Yeah, I don't. I'd be shocked if they do anything like what I'm saying. But what I am saying is probably the best way you can go about it.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
And again, it'll probably require less work than it took them to remake the dog shit that is episode I guess. Okay.
8th episode, I guess.
Put that $35 expansion pass. Go. Use that fucking money. Go. You're gonna make a profit with this. I promise you, you'll make a profit. I'm promising you. Right now, you'll make a profit. Fuck. Give me. When am I running Atlus? Fuck the partnership program. When are they fucking putting me as the new CEO?
I think Social Links, the true end goal is not world domination, it's Atlus domination.
It is.
Okay?
It is Atlus domination. I hope they're listening to this, okay? Somebody, get me up there, okay? I don't know shit about business, but I can learn, alright? Get me in there. Get me in head of creative so they can pay me $12. I'm kidding. I don't know how Atlus pays their employees. But creative guys always get fucked.
And creative, as far as like on the advertising side, creative usually makes a lot of money in that respect.
On advertising?
Yeah.
I don't know how much marketing guys make. Maybe. I know just a lot of money goes towards marketing. I don't know how much of that is compensation for employees, but maybe. Anyways, yeah, so now that we've just solved Persona 4 Remake, we've just completely obliterated P5X with facts and logic.
If you take anything, one thing from this episode, you listening right now, do not
buy
play
Rhino!
Persona 5 the Phantom X.
Don't play
Buy
P5X.
Rhino. Do not play P5X. We'll play P5X.
Only buy P4R's expansion pass if they do what I said. Okay? That's what these are the marching orders, okay?
Buy Rhino. Buy P4R expansion pass if it's good. Do not play Persona 5 the Phantom X.
And subscribe to Screamins on Twitch. Use that money you didn't use on the Persona 3 expansion pass, okay? To sub to fucking Screamins. That's also part of the plan. And then go follow IncompetentC. And go sub to him.
Sub to IncompetentC as well. Yeah,
sub to me first.
I play games. Well, you know, you can sub to either one of us. It doesn't really matter. You can spend your money either way. Your choice, you know.
They could, but if I want to spend it well, they spend it on me.
If they want to spend it in a place that it'll go further, they probably should give it to me.
I feel like if they wanted to spend it in a place where, like, it would feel like it's worth it, though, they'd spend it on me.
You know, I feel like they just wanted to give it to like a person who's like, you know, morally upstanding and a good man. I think, you know, there's a place they can.
I feel like if they wanted to give it to somebody who's morally ambiguous and is a chaotic good, they would give it to me.
I feel like they want to give it to someone who's like really funny and really likable and like everyone talks about all the time in a good way. They know what to give it to.
You know what? You're right. I feel like if they wanted to donate to Adolf Hitler, they would give it to you.
That's just not even true.
It would be like donating to the Third Reich, I would think.
I don't think that. I think if you're donating to the third bike, because we're moving.
Like Yosuke, he's on bikes.
Yeah, he loves bikes.
Yeah.